Hi again, this is Dan from the House of Broken Dobbs Things. Starting up, recording a bit of an episode. I'll be showing you more about it later. But here we have an Amazon treasure that just came and followed me home. What's that, Dan? Well, this is a drag chain. No, that has nothing to do with a life change in Dan's world. This is actually a tool implement. This particular one here is meant for 3D printing by its size. However, we did find an application for it relative to this lathe. So all credit for the idea goes to Cam at Battler out of Australia. And Cam, if you've never seen his channel before, Cam's a genius. He's just a crazy reclusive genius and does great content. I can't tell you how much I enjoy watching him. He has so many creative solutions. If you notice right there, this is where you fasten it, and then you feed in this channel the wiring. So from this one, it's going to basically roll with the spindle back and forth. This is from industry, but it's also in 3D printing, and at no point does the wiring get exposed. It moves smoothly, it doesn't get kinked, because you can't go any further than that. So a sharp edge inside of here, no, it's not going to happen. What are you doing with that? Well, let me show you. Itself is housing the wiring coming off the touch DRO scales, and is going down through the center of the drag chain. You can barely see the wires there. They're well protected. And what happens is you take the front edge of it, and I'm going to tie it off to the carriage. If you watch, hopefully I can keep it straight, the carriage moves, and you'll notice the drag chain just uncurls. At no point is it left the wiring dangling into the house of muck down below. I said muck with an M, everybody. Relax, don't faint. So from that standpoint, it's going to be held up. I'm going to put a couple little brackets here. Oh, look right there. There's some holes already pre-drilled into the casting. Yes. All it has to do is just kind of hold it and guide it. And then the front edge is going to curl and keep everything within a defined radius. And from that standpoint, it's not going to let the wires kink. It's not going to let them be drugged through the oil and the chips. Now, chips will actually hit. They'll actually be right here, but likely they may stack up and so forth. But inside that cage, the wire is going to be in pretty good shape. Now, I'll occasionally blow it out and whatnot to get the chips out of there. But at the same time, it's just a nice, tidy way. I keep using that word tidy occasionally because people like it. To keep this out of the gunk down below and then help this thing last a long time. Now, will it get in the way of anything? Yeah, I've got to contend with the cooling system on this one. That shouldn't be real hard. Here's the port coming out of the pump in the below. I haven't used it yet, and I think from that standpoint, we'll probably hook it up here shortly. I've tried the pump before it worked, but it's been a couple of years since I played with it. But the vice grips are there. No, that's not going to be factory equipment. It's just holding into position while I get everything centered. And we're going to use that. So I think, thanks to Cam, it was a good idea. It really is going to help prevent it from getting hurt. At the same time, it's also going to, I think, just keep things from, getting caught and snagged and damaged and so forth. So if you haven't seen one before, there it is. Probably not seen it on this scale, on this size of a lathe. Some folks may have done it already, but I'm just sharing. Cam has a glass scale, so he has a nice big woven wire shields. These are actually very, basically they're USB cords is what they are. So they're not all that super resilient, and then keeping them dry ought to probably be the best option. So that's it. That's what we're going to do, and I'll bring you back in another little bit whenever I put the brackets on. All they're going to do is just hold it up. So let me give you the long view here. There you go. So they're just going to pick them up and just keep it, somewhat level. And that's all. It doesn't have to be level, but it's just right there. And then the end of it right here, you can see where I've got it tied off. I've just made a quick bracket. Yeah, I know, it's not gorgeous, but I just grabbed some metal. It's not holding any weight whatsoever, and I hate wasting metal, overdoing it on something that doesn't really need a load. So, there you go. Thanks for watching, If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you like the content of this episode, please, think about clicking like, and we'll go from there. And if you hate the content, well, pretend it never happened. See ya. Okay, we drilled and tacked the bracket in place for the drag chain. Here's the drag chain. You can see right there, it really doesn't have any big shape to it. We added a bracket right about here, and if you watch it, as we rotate it forward, you see it rotates. And the cables will be safely ensconced into the mechanism.